Welcome back to Notes Edition, where I read notes off of my phone. Today's note is called, "Are You Too Late to Bitcoin?" I think when most people arrive to Bitcoin, one of the first thoughts they have is, am I too late to get Bitcoin? Saying you're too late to Bitcoin is like saying you're too late for the internet. There was never a point you were too late. In fact, thinking you're too late is one of the biggest pitfalls. It's one of the biggest obstacles to getting started. When I first started learning and understanding Bitcoin, I remember being told that I was too late to Bitcoin. At that point, Bitcoin was under $1,000. Back then, I felt like I finally understood the use case of Bitcoin as better money, and once it clicked, I felt like I was too early, not too late. In fact, I think anyone who explores Bitcoin intently enough comes to the conclusion that we are still very early. The fact that we still have to explain what Bitcoin does is in and of itself an indicator that most people are completely unaware of the societal and economic implications of Bitcoin as the Internet of Money, the first usable example of separation of money and state. Any scarce, desirable, deflationary asset class that exists within an inflationary environment is really never too late if you zoom out. If you bought Bitcoin when it topped out around $20,000 back in 2017, you might have felt like you were too late because a year later it had crashed 80%. But if you are holding Bitcoin for decades, any time is a good time to accumulate. Now that Bitcoin has reached over $100,000 in 2025, a $20,000 price point seems unimaginably cheap. Bitcoin investors wish they could go back and get a price that low. The same dynamic is true today. $100,000 seems like a ridiculous amount to pay for some invisible rogue currency. Yet if you learn the basics of Bitcoin, $100,000 seems dirt cheap if you zoom out. You're only late if you start comparing to the past, but if you look to the future, you'll realize how early you are. We can't modify the past except through our perception of it, but we do have an opportunity in this moment to influence the future, and that's today's note.